What if Ulfric Stormcloak, Skyrim's so-called hero of the rebellion, was never fighting for Skyrim at all? What if the entire rebellion, the war, the bloodshed, the chaos wasn't about independence, but something far darker? And what if Ulfric Stormcloak is actually a secret champion of the Daedric Prince Boethiah? Now, Boethiah thrives on betrayal, bloodshed, and destruction. She rewards those who overthrow leaders, who stir chaos, and who prove themselves through violence. Ulfric's life is a series of betrayals, rebellions, and battles, each one mirroring Boethiah's ideals. Let's take a closer look at Ulfric's story and see how every major event in his life aligns with the influence of Boethiah. Ulfric was not always a warrior. As a child, he was chosen to train at High Hrothgar, learning the way of the voice from the Greybeards. This was an immense honor, and his destiny seemed set until he abandoned the Greybeards. Why would someone chosen for such a sacred path suddenly abandon it for war? The Greybeards teach that the Thu'um should be only used in pursuit of wisdom and peace. Yet Ulfric left, drawn instead toward conflict. What if this was Boethiah's first whisper in his ear? A promise of power, of strength, not through meditation but through combat. When the Empire called for soldiers, Ulfric joined the Imperial Legion and fought in the Great War. But his time with the Legion was short-lived. He was captured by the Thalmor and interrogated. The Thalmor dossier on Ulfric reveals something. They saw him as an asset. And why would the Thalmor see Ulfric as an asset? Well, because after his capture and supposed release, he returned to Skyrim a different man. Angrier, more radical, more ruthless. Could this be the moment when Boethiah truly took hold of him? Boethiah's champions are often shaped through suffering. She doesn't choose weaklings. She selects warriors who have endured torment and emerged stronger. The White Gold Concordat signed between the Empire and the Aldmeri Dominion banned the worship of Talos. For Ulfric, this was the final betrayal. The Empire, which he had once fought for, had abandoned one of the pillars of Nordic identity. His resentment turned into rage, and his path toward rebellion became inevitable. But was this purely his decision, or was this Boethiah's influence pushing him toward conflict? After the war, Ulfric led the charge to reclaim Markarth from the Reachmen. He won, but at what cost? The Markarth incident was brutal, and when the Empire refused to uphold its promise to allow Talos worship, his hatred for them became absolute. Ulfric turned against the very empire he once fought for, a classic move in Boethiah's playbook. Betrayal, rebellion, and conflict. This was no longer about Talos worship. It was about proving himself, about ascending through struggle. But Boethiah's champions do not just rebel against nations, they overthrow kings. The moment that sparked the civil war was Ulfric's duel with High King Torygg. Many say Torygg was young and unprepared, while others say Ulfric's use of the Thu'um made it an unfair fight. But what if it was more than that? Boethiah demands proof. Her champions must prove they're worthy by toppling rulers in combat. Ulfric didn't just kill Torygg, he humiliated him. The young king looked up to Ulfric and trusted him. By challenging him, Ulfric wasn't just engaging in Nordic tradition, he was performing a sacrifice. He used the voice, a power he abandoned his training for. Instead of using it for peace, he used it for destruction. Could this have been the moment Boethiah fully claimed him as her champion? After Torygg's death, the civil war consumed Skyrim. But who truly benefited from this? The Nords? The Empire? Boethiah and the Thalmor did. Skyrim, once united, was now tearing itself apart. The Nords, instead of fighting the Thalmor, were fighting each other. The Empire, already weakened, was struggling to maintain order. If Boethiah's goal was to create conflict and upheaval, Ulfric was playing his role perfectly. Depending on the player's choices in Skyrim, Ulfric's fate can vary. If the player sides with the Empire, Ulfric is defeated and killed during the battle for Windhelm. If the player sides with the Stormcloaks, Ulfric emerges victorious, solidifying his control over Skyrim. And either way, Boethiah's influence remains. If he dies, he becomes a martyr for future rebellions. If he wins, his rule launches Skyrim into further conflict. Some might argue that Ulfric's actions can be explained without Daedric influence. Perhaps Ulfric truly believes in an independent Skyrim. Maybe his rebellion, despite its flaws, is genuinely about freeing his people from the Empire's rule. His ability to use the voice isn't necessarily evidence of Daedric favor. He trained with the Greybeards after all. His use of the Thu'um in battle could simply be a result of his own skill. Skyrim's civil war isn't just about Ulfric. There are many things that contribute to Skyrim's chaos, so to say Boethiah alone is responsible might be oversimplifying things. Whether or not Ulfric knowingly serves Boethiah, one thing is undeniable: his actions align with her will. He betrayed his king, he plunged Skyrim into war, and he created endless suffering. So what do you think? Is Ulfric truly fighting for Skyrim's freedom, or has he been serving a darker power all along? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe. Thanks for watching.